We bought this house in June of 2014. You know, all the houses in the neighborhood, at least then, were 1950s builds. It's a little over 2,000 square feet. The lot itself is almost 10,000, so we knew we had a big yard. And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The kitchen had been remodeled within the last 10 years. And the bathrooms had not been remodeled, but they were very well kept, considering it was still a lot of the tile from the 1950s. We envisioned us having kids here, and it felt like home from the minute we walked in.
The floodplain is a very big deal, and noticing out our back door, you know, we're 2 blocks, 3 blocks away from the bayou, and this house was built in 1952 and it had never flooded, and it's been through 4 significant hurricanes.
The hurricane that hit the year before, that didn't really affect us. My husband had sandbagged everything up, and we were just like, we're not gonna go through that again. It's fine.
We did prep. I had water, we had food. Sunday rolls around, Bluebird Day. We actually went on a walk with our dogs, and we were on the bayou, and the water was at the bottom. Shortly after, I'd say a couple hours, that's when Armageddon seemed to start breaking loose. Previous hurricanes that we've had have been fast moving. They come in and they dump rain and then they get out. This one just stayed. It just created the perfect storm to flood.
I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to my phone going off with text messages, and swung my feet over the bed, and we had about 2 or 3 inches of water in the house. Let's just say 30 minutes later, it was probably 10 plus inches. A good dear friend of ours, our neighbor, was knocking at the door. In just our general vicinity of maybe just this block, there's about 4 or 5 houses that didn't flood that are newer builds, and they're 2-story. So they took in everyone else that was here and that was flooding and couldn't retreat to their upstairs. So we ended up with around 14 people, and I want to say 6 dogs, all in his house by 9 a.m.
I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, it's just so much water everywhere. I mean, everywhere where there should be a road was just water.
I would say the water left our house within maybe 30-something hours. That next step is just go. You get everything that could absorb water, you get it out of the house. It was hard to see because you can see a clear water line. You imagine a bunch of brown water in your house. You could see exactly everything it had touched. My husband is in construction, so that helped a lot.
I know what was driving me was the mold. My primary focus was strip everything out of the house, including sheetrock, insulation.
We found out the day the insurance adjuster came over and did the whole assessment of the house that we did not have contents coverage. My response to them, and I wasn't trying to sound tough, was I don't have time to be heartbroken. No one was going to come in and do this for us. I don't remember crying at all, which I think is very strange when I think about it now, but it was, we've got to get this done. Michelle entered the picture right away.
In a natural disaster, you take on a little bit different role than you might if it were a traditional design project. It was very hard for everyone. You are part designer, part therapist, part shoulder to cry on. There's a certain degree of chaos that comes with just that whole experience for people. It looked pretty much like a war zone. Austin being in construction was a great help. We both spoke the same language, so we looked at this as an opportunity. We could rebuild this house and get them back in, but we could also make some improvements. They have a small child, they want to add to that family in time. And so we wanted to create a much more family-friendly home, and so ultimately we left a lot of the things in its original place to save on money, but at the same time we improved it.
The main wants of the house were to open it up and make it a more breathable space, so to speak. It felt choked off with walls.
So that was one of the reasons I really wanted to open up the wall between the kitchen and the living room, is because our little guy would like to lay in there and play or do whatever he was doing, and I couldn't see him. Austin and I's idea about the house in general, but especially the kitchen, were very different. And I always thought having someone help you with design was gonna be something we couldn't afford, and that couldn't have been further from the truth. We started using House right away. Michelle said, hey, take a look at some of these ideas. She knew that blue was my color, all different shades, and so one of the first photos she sent me was of a kitchen island that had been painted teal.
Michelle's design work is invaluable. I'm a very visual person, so being able to see that and work within our space and see what things are gonna look like really helped me making decisions.
Austin likes industrial styling, and that really wasn't appropriate for this architecture, but we wanted to give him something that he felt, he could connect to as well. And so he settled on a metal backsplash.
So the backsplash, I think, gives me that industrial feel as well with our appliances. So I think we get that good blend with our chairs as well. It pulls it into the space.
We ultimately chose things like wood plank tile flooring so that if they're a little boy now and kids for the future want to roller skate on it, they can. It's easy on them in terms of their dogs. We chose porcelain countertops. They're non-porous, non-staining, or scratch resistant. So we just really thought through, let's make it beautiful, but let's make it easy living for them so that they're not worried about things.
In a 1952 house in Houston, a lot of the laundry was located in the garage, and we have a detached garage. So I told my husband from day one, I want the laundry in the house. When you're looking at a 2,000 square foot house, you have to in order to get a laundry room inside, she had to really kind of play with what areas were open to even do so without taking away a lot of the living area of the house. When Michelle had the idea to incorporate the pantry within the laundry room, it really just saved us some space from trying to build it somewhere else in the house. The same square footage.
We redid their wiring to improve the lighting throughout the house. We rejiggered some of their bathroom layouts so that we could have more storage, double vanities, things like that that maybe they didn't need immediately but long term as they continue to grow their family. When I do a design for any client, I try to look at the whole house and the cohesion between rooms. You don't need to do every room the same, but it does need to flow somewhat.
We started off looking at websites, and I was drawn to Houzz quite a bit just because we needed something where we could furnish an entire house on a very small budget. And Houzz really offers everything from very inexpensive to, somewhat if you wanted to spend a little bit more on a piece. And that was a big draw for us because we had to replace everything. And in order to do that, it had to be budget friendly. All of the stuff in here, the furniture to the rugs to everything, I wanted to have something that looked nice, that was on trend, but durable enough for a 3-year-old. The one thing that was saved was the dining room table. We had to get it refinished, but it was able to, persevere through the flood. When it came to color, we were both excited to add some color to the house. Michelle started building more into the idea book off of what she found based on, hey, if we have this really cool island, pretty big focal point right when you walk in the house, how can we link that to the rest of the house in different ways? And so a lot of the design from the kitchen island being with teal, our bathroom vanity is teal, Axel's vanity is a deep navy. She knows me well. She knows if she puts a little bit of blue or teal in something, I'm going to be drawn to it.
You don't always have grand budgets, and so I did not want it to not feel as though it all went together. So I love tile, so we use tile as a way to add personality, and you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money to do that, so it was a way to make that budget go a lot further. When we got ready to furnish Angie and Austin's house, we looked to Houzz as a resource for buying furniture. And so I used my relationship with my trade account manager there to help us find pieces that we knew were not only family friendly from appearance, but that they had had good feedback.
So when we were selecting the sofa, she said, why don't we take it and make it a right side chase so that it goes towards the kitchen? And I was like, that's gonna look so weird. And she said, trust me on this, we're gonna open it up by putting the chairs on the other side. And it opened it up beautifully.
I would say this project is a tremendous source of pride for me. It's full of fun colors and warm energy and lots of memories that they're making, and such a long way from where they started, following the floods.
Being able to just relax and realize it's all behind us because we have nothing else left to do to this house. It's done. So that's been just relief. job, Axel.
Oh, you found your brakes.
Look where you're going.